This is your girl, Danny.
This is your guy, TJ.
And this is yet another episode of Lovers Quarrel.
Yeah, episode number 21.
We're legal.
We're legal now.
We're here. We can drink.
Time for a threesome. That's why I'm here.
Yeah. We got a special guest.
A very, very special guest.
Go ahead. You can introduce her, babe.
Okay, so we have, and we'll give a more proper introduction a little later on, but we have Miss Weezy.
Hi.
Of the Whoreible Decisions
One
podcast.
half.
One half.
We miss you, Mandy.
Hey, Mandy.
Yo, every
Shout
time that you notice, like, Lovers Quarrel gets in touch with Whoreible Decisions, no one's ever together.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't. Is it us? Is it y'all?
I don't know what the fuck is going on. It feels like a breakup.
No,
Nah,
we
it's
just
not a
see y'all
breakup.
together. It's like we have. It's like what you call it? Y'all are our
Like
parents.
joint
Y'all are
custody.
divorced, then we have joint custody over us. Like I get them on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
That's cute. That's true.
Exactly. I have joint custody of us, so
Good.
this is your weekend. But
There might be too many of us. A foursome is a lot of people.
it's a lot.
I've never done more than 3 people in sex, and so maybe it's just not wise for us to do it all together on a podcast.
And I have said this before. That's a lot of limbs. It's just a lot of. It's just a lot of limbs. Like thinking
It's
about
a lot of legs already.
it, like arms, legs, noses. It's just a lot. Yeah.
I used to take bathroom breaks when my ex and I were having threesome heavy. I'd be like, "Oh, I'll be right back," and it was literally just to breathe, just to not use my hands or mouth for a second.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm so tired. I'm
I
sorry.
was- can
Get
we
back
take
to your show.
can we
I'll
take
stop being a
bathroom
hoe.
breaks when we have sex?
I mean,
I guess that he'd notice if I left the room though.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
But anywho, but yeah, welcome to Weezy. We're so excited to have you on. Thank you for giving us your time. So
Thanks for having me.
we are gonna start off with
our elevator talk.
Go ahead, babe.
Yeah, no more vents. So we're doing our elevator talk. I got an upper and a downer. So you want to start
sounds
off?
like
or
drugs.
I got an upper or a downer. Do you want me to start off, or you want to start off?
Go ahead.
All right. So my upper is that we got Weezy.
Yes.
Know what I mean?
This feels
super
like
hyped.
drugs.
I'm super
I told
hyped
him so.
about
I said
that.
like it's like we said, because ups and downs on the elevator.
All right, we're
but-
gonna go up on this elevator.
And he's so happy to have you here. I told you up and down is a drug.
We're gonna go up on the elevator.
It is very interesting. I mean, as someone that likes to have a good time,
Mm-hmm.
saying uppers and downers did not feel like an elevator to me.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that was his up of the episode. But what's your down then?
I'm gonna let you go to your down.
Okay, it's really petty, but
I mean, you are petty.
Okay, I'll take it. So we took the train over here, and so of course, even though as a typical New Yorker, I'm looking down, not making eye contact because I don't want to make eye contact, and I see like these different people's different sneakers and stuff like that, and it made me start thinking about those. I think they're Balenciaga.
Oh yeah, the
Balenciaga.
sock shoe.
Those sneakers are so fucking ugly.
Oh my god, yo,
Not the
I
sock
want
shoe.
some.
They're so
No,
ugly.
that's about the sock shoe.
No,
the
not
one,
the sock shoe.
Like the big.
No,
bulky
that's
one.
the
Oh,
big,
the dad
the jazz shoe. I'm
Oh,
talking
yeah,
about that
they
sneaker. They're no. Those are cool.
And by the way, I was like watching this girl walk up and down Bleecker the other day, and she had on them thick shoes, and they were Fila's. They're just vintage Fila's. And so apparently that came out in Japan as like a reboot for vintage shit. And now Balenciaga is catching back on. You heard Kanye got one too.
Yeah, they're
I don't
they're
like
awful.
I don't like his either.
They're
so.
awful.
Anything Daddy do, I'm gonna take though.
Yeah, you love Kanye.
I really do. There's a Kanye West art show. It's called the Life of Pablo art show in
I
Lower
heard
East
of
Side.
that.
The day I come back from Texas,
Mm-hmm.
bro, off the plane in.
I heard of
Beautiful
that.
morning. I can't wait. It's gonna be lit. I can't wait.
I am happy for you,
I
but
miss
them.
old Kanye though.
I'll take whatever. I'll take high.
Whatever
I'll
Kanye.
take up and down Kanye. How about that for
You
elevator
take
talk?
Golden Lord Kanye with the blonde hair.
Nah.
I don't mind that. Oh, when you said Lord, I don't mind that he wants to be Jesus, bro. Like I just don't. I don't.
I just miss like the backpack.
Before he hit the sunken place.
I miss the backpack.
I do want him out of the sunken place. I be
Yeah.
seeing those pictures of him, and I be like, just like someone flash him.
Flash a camera. Somebody hit that. It's.
I miss the Jesus walk the through the wire. Like
That was good.
He's not coming back from that though.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
Did you hear he's writing a book?
I did hear
about
that.
philosophies.
Yeah.
and-
I can't wait for that
It's gonna
book.
be like
I
his
want to know
48 laws of
what
power.
was it Coke, Molly, or weed, or all three to inspire each chapter of the books? Because like it has to be. When the fuck did this happen? Like,
I
He
don't
was
know.
bored.
wasn't he a college dropout?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah,
But
just-
I don't know. He's just more power to Kanye because he's wealthier than I'll probably ever be. And he's definitely living his truth. I hope. But I think that he's just like with them sneakers, it's ugly as shit. And so
they got my money.
People love them.
They do.
You know, and that is okay.
But the sneakers are reminding people of like old school 90s shit. That's the thing. And so if you can know that my vintage shit is expensive, then people will wear it.
Yeah,
I
think it's just
always been.
I feel like it's just a testament though to like if you slap a label on it, sometimes people will buy it.
Facts.
But because we know that there are some 47-year-old white guys named,
We
Paul.
were talking shit about Paul's, the MAGA guys. Like, those are totally the Trump
those
shoes.
are
Fuck, those are Trump shoes!
They're Trump shoes. So really, you're when you buy them, you support racism. So I'm just...
I went to see Jesus and Mero in Staten Island only because, like, I love them so much and everything else was sold out.
Mm-hmm.
Get to Staten Island, the first thing out of Jesus' mouth is like, yo, what's in Staten Island that's cool? I mean, besides racism, because we know y'all about that.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, the whole fucking crowd was like, oh, my God. And all they talked about that shit. And I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so fucking prevalent in
Mm-hmm.
towns like that. And it's so crazy. Like, walking around the campus, it was dark outside, and I was low-key happy. I was a white dude.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, go ahead, blend in for us. I was scared.
I'm born and raised in New York. I've spent I can think of maybe like 2 times in my life I've been to Staten Island.
Bro, there were people in there that had never been to the Bronx. There were people in there, and I was shocked.
Yeah, all the other boroughs, like my dad was from Brooklyn, my mom is from Harlem. I went to, I lived in Queens and then went to school in Harlem. So I always like those were the boroughs that I kind of spent a lot of time. And then like even my friends, like growing up, my friends from the Bronx, so I would go over there too. But Staten Island was just kind of like I went to visit like my mom's coworker, and that was it.
Like they had to have voted for him out there. I know that all the 5 boroughs.
Oh
did,
yeah,
but
like Brighton Beach, all of that. I got my
Brighton
mom.
Beach is like.
Is that?
No, that's in Brooklyn.
That's Brooklyn. I'm getting Howard Beach.
Yeah.
Howard Beach.
Something Howard.
Listen,
That's like
it's
mad
white
racist.
and it ain't right.
Yeah. So
actually, Vandy and I just had a. I don't know when your episodes come out, but interview for Vice, and in the interview, the dude covers a lot of shit about racism, and he was like, "Do you guys ever get any slack or whatever for the way that you talk?" And I was like, you know what? At first, I was trying to be inclusive, but now I don't care. Like, I really want to make sure. At first, when we first started, I was like, I want everybody to listen to it. Then I realized after some time, like, there's so much shit for white people. And I just want to have this one fucking black thing. I just want to have this. At first, I just wanted to be for black girls. Then I wanted to be for black dudes. Now I want to be for black couples. And, like, just black people. And the 13 white people that listen to us. I'm happy for that.
I think it's 1 to 13. I think so.
25. And people love, I guess I said that on one episode. People be writing in like, I'm 8 out of 13. I'm 9 out of 13. I wrote some girl back and said, thanks, Becky. She goes, LOL. Oh my God, you knew my name. Clicked on her Instagram. It was really Rebecca.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, you don't want to be a Karen because then you got raisins in your potatoes.
Nah. Did you see the bitch that wrote back to SNL and was like, I actually put granola and blah, blah, blah. And it's great.
No. Hard pass Karen.
Bro, I'm allergic to eggs.
Okay.
Really?
And mayonnaise, and still wouldn't taste that. Like, if the bitch said, "Hey, this is gonna be your first time ever having potato salad," I'm like, I'm good on them raisins. I'd rather throw up and pass out.
Yeah, I don't really like potato salad though.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I don't like it. Sorry.
I can't eat it because for dietary restrictions. But bro, what?
Yeah, when I see it, I'm like, yeah,
do that with watermelon and chicken too?
I don't like
Let
watermelon.
our stereotypes flourish, dog.
Yeah.
my fault.
Well. Anyway, let me ask you this, Weezy. Do you have anything that's like on your mind that you would want to like, you're up or down about? I mean, you got a lot of exciting things on the horizon. So
I will tell you what I do have on my mind.
Okay.
A lot of exciting stuff has been happening because, we were on Brilliant Idiots and I'm really grateful. But people will hit me up and say things to me like, oh, you Hollywood now? And I'd be like, nigga, I didn't even say nothing. Like, you didn't even try to say what's up and let me ignore you. And it's like, it's not even that popping. It's just people want to do that because it's like I feel like I just can't even be excited for myself.
It's like it's been a week and a half. It's been 2 weeks. Like
that, but it really makes you feel like you can't.
That's when you win. That's when you really win.
But it's not even that crazy, and it's still
people are like already because you know what, people sometimes don't know how to be happy for people, and so
it's like what I don't know who said this about Nicki Minaj. They said, of course you want to see Cardi do good, just not better than her.
I can understand that, and that's the thing. Like everybody doesn't have the ethic. Everybody doesn't have the drive. And so when
people think that they're being funny and it's not funny, like
and sometimes maybe like they're putting their guard up. They're like, I know it's coming down the pipe. Weezy's gonna start acting different. So let me just get ahead of it and then just be like, oh, you're being like this.
I get it, but like I don't know. It still kind of hurt my feelings because
as it should, because if it's not true, if it's not factual, if it's not what you're trying to do, then why even say that to me? But you know what? It's unfortunately when you start to do well, especially if it's like on a public platform, then it starts to people start to hate or people start to get concerned that they're gonna be forgotten about.
And that's the weird thing because it's just I don't know, like it would be. And then there's people I've never really talked to that suddenly are acting like they know
you really well.
Well, so I didn't expect. So I don't know if you listened to it. So the first 45 minutes they didn't have us on. They had us in toward the end.
Yeah.
Yes.
I personally think it's because they thought we were gonna just be whack. That's what I think.
Really?
Because this week they had an author on for an hour and a half, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of their guests they have on from the beginning, but there are some guests that are towards the end. And I'm like, I think they just thought we was gonna be whack. And then when they realized it was fucking lit, it was like, okay, which is cool.
Cause and they mentioned you again this week because they were like briefly. He was like, yeah, they were great girls. Like I was shocked. So
it was a fun, like
it really was.
You can feel like you guys do your podcast, right? There's you can feel the energy at the end where you're like, oh, that was good. Yeah, it felt like that. Yeah. And then I could feel other people laughing. I was looking around, more people were entering the room. Like I knew it was going good, and I was sitting next to Charlamagne, and low-key starstruck and also excited at the same time because I could tell he liked it and he was enjoying himself and smiling a lot. And then when he said my feet was pretty, I was like, oh my god, y'all, that shit.
You're like life goals.
I was so excited. I really was so hyped. Like I've been such a Charlamagne fan forever. But I'm trying to think of where I was going with this. Yeah, so it's funny. They didn't have us on for that beginning. They had us on towards the end. And it still gained as much traction and trajectory after that, which felt really good to know because people didn't just click it off when they heard it, you know? And I'm just shocked that just from those 45 minutes, all of that stuff happened.
It's an amazing thing.
And it feels really, it is.
It's like shooting your shot. Like you got your what's that what was the Eminem song from 8 Mile? It's like you only get one shot, so you made the most of it.
And the crazy thing is me and Mandy cut each other off a lot because we're always both so excited when we talk, and we did really good in that interview. And I couldn't even see her.
Really?
If there was this huge screen up between us, I couldn't see her to see when she would talk. But like, I think her and I, as much as we fight, we were like, "Bitch, we gotta get it together. We ain't about to act up."
Very well. Y'all did
Thank
really
you.
well. And y'all are kind of like a married couple because that's the one thing me and TJ do. We have to work on like not cutting each other off. So sometimes we have to like do hand signals and stuff because we like
we do hand signals.
We were like. All right, and now let me get my word in.
So we don't respect hand signals for her, and I'll put it up, and she'd be like, "Nah," and me too. But I realized, like, now that I'm listening to that, I'm like, okay, we really do have to do better. Yeah. I mean, and we're trying. That's the hard.
Y'all have grown in spades, so like it's.
I mean, if you listen to earlier episodes to the later episodes, you definitely see the growth.
Thank you.
And that's what, and the same thing, like that's what we're working on too, because like from episode 1 to 21, even though. I said we was on the last episode. We weren't gonna speak of episode 19. Episode 19 was trash, but we had to put it out there so we can get to 20 and 21. So
episode 19 was like really bad.
Yeah, but
there's an episode that I wish we could take away. I know which one Mandy wishes she could take away, and it's a very recent episode. So the stripper strike one, Mandy was like not happy with.
Yeah,
I could kind of,
and I think
I could kind of feel that a little bit.
I will tell you what, I gave her no credit at the time because I'm like, bitch, you just mad. But then when I thought about it, Mandy had bartended for years, and you're watching this person go off and off and off, and I didn't even really think she could take it personal. And it's because to me, Mandy ain't in that life no more. Yeah. So I just totally discredit all of that in the moment. But then when I listened back, I was like, oh damn, she is going off.
It sounded when I listened to it, it felt like there was definitely like I could sense like there were some opposing views in that room, and it was and it just felt like I think maybe, and obviously I'm not Mandy and I'm not speaking of her, but maybe like you said, like she was trying to bring an alternative perspective, and it wasn't kind of like.
Well, I was more on the stripper strike thing. Like I was more on the other girl's side, not because I wanted to be combative with Mandy, but this is the truth. Anything that is like for women and it's a protest, I'm just in. Yeah. But the problem with this protest is it's women against women.
So you're picking a side, but really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought, well, for me, I wanted a solution.
For the stripper strike. Yeah. Like when you read about it, that's it. That is it, though. Like, how can we fix this?
I didn't hear her say, I'm going to open up my own strip club and then I'm going to give them benefits. Or,
You know what? That's a great point. Because as much money as they make, how easy would it be to ban like 5 strippers together and be like, let's put money in and open our own business?
And who knows what strip club patrons want better than strippers? So there's always something. Listen, they could be like the HBCUs of strippers. Like, you know, like, listen, they open up.
I feel bad when I hear about that shit. Like, with them with security. I don't know. What do you guys think about strippers? Do you think strippers should have benefits?
I mean, I think that if
they get benefits, do they lose their tips?
Yeah. Like, how are they paid? Like, I mean, are they?
Because
they're not salaried. They're not.
Typically, they don't.
But if you work for a franchise, I don't know. One of my girlfriends, I think, was when I was in college, she worked for Outback. She had health insurance.
Well, I guess
one of my best friends, he was a waiter. He got like, let's say $5 was his hourly,
right? And then you get all the
tips. It was just so.
Hold on, wait. Hourly employees, I believe, would get benefits, but strippers are not hourly employees. They're independent contractors.
Oh.
But I mean, like, so they don't have to sacrifice their tips for it. But
I get wanting the job security because like obviously
can
like
get the Affordable Care Act like.
ACA? You wanna,
like, could they be like?
Can strippers get Obamacare?
Yeah. Like,
well, I mean, why not? I don't know. I don't see anything wrong with wanting to have job security. I don't see anything wrong with wanting to have health benefits because everybody gets sick. Everybody wants to, needs to be able to go to the hospital and not have to pay an arm and a leg to get your arm and leg fixed. Like I don't see anything wrong with that. And then I guess though it's just like you also have to just, I guess, look at the industry. You have to change the industries that you're in because I guess the other thing too is that benefits and job security come along in careers where people like there's longevity, like because industries will not want to,
I get that,
work in corporate, and
I guess for me, like I think that a reason I'm always against them not having benefits is because I feel like it's just pushing away anything that's considered sex work, and just saying like you're an independent contractor, you can't be an hourly employee with this club because we don't want to just highlight that being like that's just how I feel. Look at what's going on with fucking Craigslist and Backpage. Have you guys seen anything about that?
Yeah, we were just talking about that because
on our last episode we talked about it with Michelle Hope.
So
yeah.
So she was like, she was
schooling us. Yeah, she was schooling us on how like it's.
Oh, I wish I would have heard that. I want to learn a little more. I'm trying to interview someone that used to be on Backpage actually.
Oh, okay. So she was kind of explaining that although the laws that are being passed that are getting rid of that, they're also like taking away that like some of these. Like Reddit and things are serving as like valuable resources for sex workers, saying that like they're like they would communicate through these platforms to say like, okay, this guy, stay away from him. He looks like this or whatever. And it was this kind of community online that they were using to help each other out, not just to solicit. But because all of it's being taken away, and they're saying like, oh, it's for traffic. It's because they're trying to stop trafficking. But she was saying that there are other more there were other avenues that trafficking happens.
Motherfuckers is getting people off for ISIS on Facebook. So okay,
so
please, I'm tired of that.
We digress. However, I'm glad that we got that all out on the table. And
that was good. I want an elevator segment on my shit.
Yeah, and I still stand by those sneakers are trash. And so now it's time for the relationship tip of the week. So,
go ahead.
The relationship tip of the week is leave a little mystery. And I thought that this would be something also too that you might want to chime in on because we're the old married couple. We've been together.
I'm curious to do that. How do you do that when you're married?
So sometimes you don't. Sometimes you're not that successful at it. That's something I know I need to work on. And so that's why when I was like looking,
we can both work on it.
Looking up things because when you're in a relationship, especially for long periods of time, like look, sometimes the mystery is all gone. Like you get real comfortable, and it's like, what am I trying to leave anything to the imagination for? Like, he done seen everything. Like, he's from head to toe giving birth, everything at this point. So like, what is there to be mysterious about? But the tip of the week is to leave a little mystery because you know what, sometimes you have to take it back to the beginning, like when you first started feeling each other, when you first decided that, hey, I want to be with this person or I want to be intimate with this person. It's because there was something left to the imagination, and not just saying like, oh, I'm covering up or like about just the physical or how you dress or anything like that, but just plan something, but don't tell them what you're doing, or do something a little different in the bedroom, but like kind of spring it on. I mean, now I'm not saying I'm not going to spring just everything on somebody in the bedroom, but just find an area or avenue to mix it up a little bit and do something outside of your norm, but then without necessarily telling them, as long as it's, not too over the top.
When you said leave a little mystery, I thought that was something else.
What are you thinking?
So I guess because I'm single as fuck, I'm such a relationship-esque person. Like I always treat people like I'm in a relationship with them. Even people I've met for a few hours, like I've had them be like, "Oh my God, I feel like I've known you forever," and I think it's the way I treat them or talk to them. I actually had someone tell me, "You always make people feel special," and maybe that's what makes me good at sales or whatever, right? But
yeah, that's
so
needed.
With leave a little mystery, I've been trying to do that in this new relationship I have where I'm dating someone. I naturally want to tell someone what I'm doing, right? Not even like they asking me, "Hey, what are you up to?" Like too much detail. Like, "Oh, I'm having drinks with Gabby and we're over down at Soho House." That's how I'm gonna say it. Now I'll be like, "Hey, out for drinks, you." Like, leave a little bit to where they gonna have to ask or wonder, who are you having drinks with? They'll keep them on their toes, and that way, that's when you said leave a little mystery. I just thought,
okay, and that could work. Too.
Yeah.
That wouldn't work for us because if I did that, he'd be like,
"Bitch, who?"
He's like, "Oh, you fucking hiding something from me?" Like,
well,
you wouldn't be a little be like.
I'm trying to think. It depends.
It depends on what if you
like,
if we were already beefing.
Oh, we beefing.
Can you be specific? Side, outside.
Yeah, we beefing, and now I want to know where you at. But I also think it's a little different now because we got a child, so it's kind of
okay, that is different.
That is a little.
You can't be like,
I can't be out with Tatum and be like, "Drinks, you," like, you know. So then he'd be like, "Where's my daughter?" But
Tatum.
Yeah,
that's a cute name.
So yeah, but that being the tip of the week. So you can take it however you want it. You can do it the Weezy way, and then, you know, kind of just like not always volunteer all the information. To
even like I think at work too. I've got a new job. I gotta leave a little mystery. I was leaving to go to a podcast. She's like, "Oh, where you at?" And I was like, "My friend's house." It was like, I really need to leave more mystery in my everyday life because I feel like generally as humans we divulge more than we need to.
I'm definitely guilty of that.
And I don't want to do that any fucking more.
Yeah, he'll ask me something and he'll be like, "What'd you do today?" Or he'll be like, "Where'd you come from?" I was like, "I went to the store." And I was like, "I went to get, you know, bread, but they didn't have the bread you liked." And he was like, "All I asked was where you went." Like, so I'm like, "My bad," but
so like, are you the person that has the huge text, like, and the other side is like tiny, and it looks like you getting curved?
Probably sometimes.
I don't know. I mean,
you would text more than I would.
I just share a lot of info.
Like words.
That's not my favorite. My least favorite word. What's my least favorite word that you say?
Sure. It's my favorite word.
You know what? Sure
is such an asshole word.
It is.
It's like sure.
No, it's an asshole.
You want to go to the store? Sure.
No, that's not.
Okay, well that's better.
I'm like, are we good? Sure.
Oh nah, bruh.
Thank you.
I need more than a. You know what sure is? Sure is a shoulder shrug.
Exactly. It's a verbal shrug.
It is.
It's a verbal shrug, and that's why I get
that's
mad.
My favorite word.
Yeah, but you do, and you say it though because you know I hate it.
Well, I'm glad sure is your favorite word. That's very teacher-like of you. Mine is cunt.
Oh no, I'm the teacher.
Well, she's the teacher.
And my favorite word is like, fuck, like bullshit, something. I don't know. Yeah. No, fuck.
She has a filthy mouth.
Like,
you just look like you had Tourette's.
No,
my favorite word is football.
Because I was like, I was like torn between those two, but yeah, like when something really happens.
All right, let's try to think of, this is random, but I had to have some coffee to pep up.
Okay.
Let's think of another word besides sure that we could use. We got to go back and forth, and whoever runs out loses.
Wait.
Okay. Instead of sure. I'll start. Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
All right.
Fine.
Awesome.
Great.
I guess.
Why not?
Let's do it.
Are these phrases necessary?
All right, I'm out. All right, now it's down to y'all too.
Okay. Wait. I don't know.
You lost.
Okay, fine.
Sure.
Sure.
He went again. Fuck.
You should have said sure.
I hate you. All right. Moving on. Well, now we got some questions for you. You're the woman of the hour.
Okay.
So
this never happens.
Yes. Listen, this is all yours. It's your world, baby girl. So obviously you are one half of the Whoreible Decisions podcast, where you guys use your platform to talk about any and everything that has to do with relationships, sex, especially topics that are not often talked about in a lot of communities, and especially women of color. And with that being said, we want to share with our listeners a little bit, a taste of like why or what brought you to that point, and as far as sharing your stories and bringing on people who bring their stories to the table that are not often discussed in the public. Sorry for that long-winded thing.
No,
but
it's okay.
Just wanted to give you a little context. So one question I have for you is, were you always comfortable in discussing your sexuality, your relationships, so openly, or is it something you had to kind of like grow to be comfortable sharing?
So I have always been comfortable talking about things like that. If you listen to episode, I think it was like 12, my mom was I was very nervous to do that episode with my mom, but I felt like it would explain a lot of why I'm like I am. And when Mandy brought her mom, it was the exact same thing, right? You really see that these people are alike, right? Close and similar to the host that you listen to, where you come from. I've been always taught that sex was okay. I've been taught that it was something that was meant for later in my life, but that was okay. I was never taught to be ashamed of it. Even when I was not caught masturbating, but like, I think my mom caught me kissing my hand or something like that, and I was really embarrassed, like trying to practice. And she was like, hey, it's okay. Like, you're going to want to kiss a boy. You watch it in movies and things like that. Like, make sure that, you know, you don't let anybody kiss you, or you don't let boys touch you here, or things like that. But this is going to happen to you in your life. It's not going to happen yet. And I never was like really scared, or I don't know. And it's not like I had sex crazy early or anything like that. I just was never, I was in a safe space about sex, using words like vagina instead of, you know, privates or like, like I think private is
private parts.
You're private. I've heard that. Yeah. Or PP, and like, you know, everything was a real word.
The JJ.
Yeah, but JJ, like anything. My mom was just making sure that like sex was okay. And she was never shaming me for it. Like if I had questions, I think one day, oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but like I was maybe like 14 or 15. No, 16, 17. It was older. It was after I was having sex. And I was like, Mom, I don't know what this smell is. And she's like, okay, well, this is how you have to properly clean yourself. And this is the kind of panties that you have to wear if you're going to be sweating all day. You got to wear cotton panties. And you have to wipe front to back. And you have to do this. And, like, she was telling me not to use soaps, because I was spraying stuff to, like, smell good. You know what I mean? Like, and I was very comfortable with asking my mom. There was no Google. I mean, there was Google, but it wasn't like,
it
you
was
know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And so I think because of that, my mom being that way, it's made me so open. And someone said something to me once. I was out to brunch, at a birthday brunch, and I said something about sex really open. This girl looked crazy. And I was like, oh, you got a problem? And she was like, I mean, I didn't grow up in like a sex house. I'm like, well, what the fuck? I didn't either. Like, and I hate that when people hear that you're so open, it's like immediately they tagline, you're a hoe. And just because you're open about something doesn't mean it's that way. Bro, I didn't get enough dick last year to be a hoe. Even though I really wish I did get my numbers up, I haven't.
Well, I think I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on your numbers wasn't up. You didn't meet your quota.
I mean, in my lifetime, you know what? I'm probably slowing down.
Oh, okay.
That's probably what happened. It's like, you know what? The ratio good enough, bitch.
Are you close to retirement, or you think?
Nah. Can hoes retire? Corinne Steff is probably home, so no.
I mean, you can delete your wholeness, right?
You can delete. Apparently, you can delete.
You can delete it with a wax.
Yeah.
I'm serious. When I got my first wax, I called my homegirl. I said, bitch, I think my pussy's a different color.
Life changed. Life altering.
By the way, I know a girl that's about 33 years old, which is very young to me, and she got the vagiplasty. What is it called?
Oh, she got her vagina rejuvenated?
What is it called?
Vagiplasty?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Like
rhinoplasty.
She just got her shit like recut and tightened. Bro, 33 years old.
Does she have like a lot of kids?
No fucking kids. She's like, honestly, I just didn't like the way it looked. It was a little too, it wasn't tight enough. She's like, I would always pull it up for pictures. I was like, bitch,
wait,
okay.
what?
She said she would take pictures of her vagina and pull it up because she felt like it was sagging a little too much.
Okay, because I was like, is this like for her?
She was white.
Her Facebook profile?
I feel like that's a white girl. I feel like that's important to the story.
Oh.
But
thank you for bringing that all
she
together.
Got her roast beef cut up, and I'm saying like, so really you can delete your wholeness, dog?
I guess so. And I was asked, I asked that about like if she had children, because I know that like not the first time, but like somebody who's in the public was Sky from Black Ink Crew. She did it when she went to Dr. Miami.
Yeah.
But she had children really young, and then like, you know, so there was some wear and tear down there. That
with kids, I understand it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I just looked at a picture of Kylie Jenner and how skinny she is. I'm like, okay, so when the baby came out, she was like, suck it out right there, you know?
Quite possibly.
If I push a baby out, I'm gonna be like, how much extra will it be on top of the initial costs of childbirth to cut my shit up and stitch it back up and make it whole again?
Well, you might get stitches regardless because the baby.
Nah, but stitch it up to where it's super tight. I want a pussy like the baby I just pushed out. Make my shit tight as fuck.
It goes back. I mean, I didn't push mine out, but it does.
I heard it snaps the fuck back.
It does. It's not. It's a lot of that stuff is like myths of like, oh, it's just like a big gaping hole for the rest of your life. And no, it all kind of comes back.
Nah, I be having niggas tell me that my pussy tight, and I be like, I don't know how. So I believe in the elasticity.
Yes,
I'm all for
the human body is a miracle, a miraculous thing. All right, you on that? You next? You get the next one.
All right, so. How have your views on relationships changed throughout your 20s?
Oh.
Because we talk about relationships. We talk about,
that's a great
couples,
question.
So
I think I have an answer for it that I might have even said recently on our show, too. So, like, someone said to me when I broke up with Loverboy, who was a guy that I talked about dating on our show a lot.
I remember.
He said to me, well, don't worry. Like, every time you meet someone, you either break up with them or you marry them. That's it. And I was like, I don't really like the way that sounds. Mm-hmm. Like, why can't people just be in your life for a time and you enjoy them in that time? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so I think the way my relationship views have changed is the older that I get, I stop putting so much pressure on it needing to be a boyfriend or this or that. Mm-hmm. Like, I remember, even though I was pushing myself about it and beating myself up about it, meeting a guy who, like, sure, it wasn't somebody I'd marry, but I had a lot of fun with him. Mm-hmm. I like going to dinners with him. We weren't that crazy compatible, but we had fun together and it was still new. And I remember thinking, why am I wasting my time if this won't be anything? Instead of just enjoying what the fuck it was. And I just kind of now believe whoever's supposed to be in my life will just pop up in there.
A reason or a season.
Yeah, and I think a season is absolutely okay. Like, I've had friends, like girls I've met at clubs that were in my life for the summer. That's the like, okay, they just weren't good enough for the rest of it.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with everything having to be so final. And that is one thing I wish I could tell my younger self. I would have stopped being so hung up on things. And frankly, my podcast put a lot of pressure on me feeling like I needed to make Loverboy my boyfriend. And I think it ruined what I had.
Really?
Absolutely. Whether it be Mandy, and this is no shade to Mandy. This is me, probably the way I sounded and projected and like the conversations we would have, her feeling like, hey, you want a boyfriend. It sounds like you want a boyfriend and it's not happening. So why are you doing it? You don't sound happy. And I actually was happy. I just felt like it needed to be something more. Yeah. So I wish that my views with relationships could just be live in the moment that you have.
If it ever came back around like Loverboy.
No.
Okay. All right. I'm moving right along.
I met someone too good.
Okay.
Literally too fast. I met a girl and a guy that were both too dope, and that let me know there's other people. Even though he was great, we had an amazing breakup. Like, it was very reasonable.
I like that amazing breakup.
And I say that because
you guys, you were like kind of like Chris Martin and Gwyneth Paltrow, like y'all like mutually like uncoupled. What was it called?
Yeah. Oh, they left that like nice little
like post. And
we're
stuff
doing
like
this
that.
together.
Yeah.
Honestly,
conscious uncoupling.
Because you're two people that care about each other so much, right? And you're like, okay, you don't have to do this with friends. You never have to do this with friends because they can always be around. But with lovers, it's like, you know what? I love having you in my life, but like, it doesn't feel like this is something like it should be. To me, I call it an amazing breakup because we always associate breakups bad. We made the decision to not be together anymore. I mean, shit, we fucked after that, and it was amazing. And like, hug goodbye. I mean, I felt some tears because it felt sad, but I will say I did run into him 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. How'd that go?
Girl, I thought I was gonna feel everything, and I didn't. I missed him in this friendship way. Like, I wanted to tell him stuff that was going on with me and things like that, but no. And if I would have just done this years ago with other exes, made these breakups more rational, like, hey, yes, it's just not compatible. Why do we always prolong breakups? I don't know. It's because we think that something's going to fail. You know what I mean? Like, okay, no, it's not going good, but we got to stick together. Like, for what? When something's good, as you know, it's good. I wish I would have known that.
And I'll say this is that even when it's good and you stick it out, but even when it's not good, it's like there's that part of it that it's still something always worth like fighting for or working at. I want to say fighting even. It's just like, because what I always say is like a relationship and a marriage, however you want to look at it, it's not a job, but it is work. So right. Like, you know, you have to kind of put the effort in to make it, especially once you get past that, like, okay, it's fun, it's everything, like, it's easy, but then sometimes, when life starts to kind of creep in those cracks or whatever, you have to kind of put that work in too.
And I think people fuck up is, you have people like you who have a successful marriage, right? Which deserves work being put in. Mm-hmm. But some people put work in for shit that don't need it, and too early. I don't think that every relationship deserves work.
Well, I think if it's not meant to be, then
if you've met someone for 6 months to a year, why are you spending 3.5 months, 4 months fixing it?
Well, that makes sense, because you definitely, like, I think there's some timelines that, like, you have to look at. Like, we can't be together 6 months, but then we're like about to on the verge of breaking up 3 out of 6 of them. Like, and that's the thing. Sometimes you just gotta, like, listen to what does Oprah say? You gotta listen to the whisper. Sometimes it's just like there's things saying like you can't put a square peg into a round hole. Sometimes shit doesn't fit, and when it does, then you keep at it,
right.
And
but
so
I think it's the unknown. Mm-hmm. I think it's the unknown that scares people, like the what ifs.
My unknown scares me. Like, am I gonna be alone?
That's fair.
And you know what was very hard for me during my breakup, just for a few weeks? People would say things to me, I felt like, just to make me feel good, like, oh, you're pretty, you'll be fine. Oh, you're smart, you'll be fine. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want to hear that shit.
Mm-hmm. You just want to be upset.
Yeah, like, just, like, let it happen on my own. Like, stop giving me this fucking Cosmo mag, like, cheerleader bullshit. I just really was genuinely, I just lost someone that was, like, my best friend. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because he really was. Mm-hmm. Like, and that's why I really want to make sure I start preaching, stop putting all your eggs in one basket.
Got you.
And when you do that, then you're not prepared for the unknown. Mm-hmm. Now I'm way more optimistic on that shit, because my eggs aren't all in these baskets with the new people I'm dating. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not that fucking worried about it, because I'm like, okay, I found them, I can find someone else. When you put all that focus and energy into something that's not working, just holding on and hoping, that makes it so much worse.
I can understand that. I respect that. And I think and you know what though? And then it's like, if you hadn't had that experience, then you wouldn't know that now. So it's like everything you go through brings you out of it with some nugget of wisdom that makes you better for the next things that life throws your way,
Right.
And it's kind of a little bit segue into that, since we are talking kind of the relationships, and you were in a somewhat, a committed type of relationship, even though you've had open ones in the past. So because I feel like me and TJ talked about this between you and Mandy, and I can't remember who is who, but, like, what is your, like, official or unofficial stance on, like, monogamy? Because you weren't on the show when we were on there, and we were the mongom-ish, episode. So what is your, like, stance on that? Do you feel like it exists? Do you, like...
Monogamy? Do I feel like it exists? Yeah. Like, I feel like it can be real. I just think, I don't know how long term it could be. Mm-hmm. So here's the thing. Even though I had an open relationship, my ideal relationship, I think right now, the more and more I'm getting to learn myself, it would be monogom-ish, right? And so, like, to bring it up again, right, it's Dan Savage's term where he talks about dating together. And together means sleeping with that person together, or, whatever. I feel the same way. Like, I think that would be something that I need long term. I don't know if I could not go on another first date again for the rest of my life. I think it is really cool to know that together with your partner, you can go on a fucking date together. I think that's great. I think that some of those puppy love feelings, this is why I think people cheat, because they want to feel that excitement again. I don't think that you necessarily can't feel it together. Like, that, I really believe can be a thing. Going on a date with someone else, fucking someone else together, and not losing that home base. Like, I do believe in monogamy, because I feel like there are two people in this world that both believe that they don't want anyone else, and that they're both too jealous or possessive, and that's it. They're happy with that. But for me, no, it doesn't work that way. So it's not to say that I don't believe in it, because I really do believe there are people out there that don't want anyone else. I believe it. Like, I would see my ex-boyfriend look at me and tell me, like, I had a threesome with him, and he was like, I never want to do that again. I never want to share you. I never want to, I don't need it. And he would say that all the time to me, and I was always so confused. You know what I mean? And then I would talk shit about it to other people, like, oh, what nigga wouldn't want a threesome, blah, blah, blah. But, like, that's just really how he felt inside. Like, this isn't exciting for me. Yeah. I don't give a fuck if there's 4 titties in the room. I just want 2.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I do think monogamy is real.
All right, cool. You want to go ahead?
No, you got the next question.
Oh, okay.
You got it, babe.
Because then they say I talk too much, so I'm trying to like
didn't say
I'm
that.
trying to share
I
the
feel
love.
like I'm talking too much, even though you the one asking. Like, I'm just really trying to be on my P's and Q's.
You are on it. You're doing
right.
for the
wonderful.
LQ.
So, so you talked about. So again, we were talking about your stance on monogamy and then the open relationship. So, how did you get to that point? I guess you kind of answered it a little bit. It's like, how did you get to that point where you were like, when you were in your open relationship? Because was your open relationship, was that your first open relationship, or is that one of you the most recent one?
Like the most real one. Like I've talked about it with like people I was but that was the first one. Yeah.
So how do you think like you got to that point? Because
oh well, I know.
Okay.
Because it was long distance. That's how it started.
Okay.
I met him, and then a few months later, he was like, "I really like you, but I have to leave for a few months to Europe." Mm-hmm. And it was like, "Well, I really like you. How are we gonna do this? Well, how much can I visit? Blah blah blah." And it was like, "Well, I don't really care if you fuck somebody else." And then that's kind of how it happened. Mm-hmm. But I would do it again.
You would do another open relationship.
I'm dating someone right now that I really like that just went through a breakup too, and it's going like really good, like too good.
A little scary good.
Yeah, and like we both say it to each other a lot, like, "Wow." Every time he said to me when he was leaving my place, like, I had a really good time with you. I mean, I always have a good time with you, but like, I feel like I could talk to you about anything. Mm-hmm. And we say these things to each other's face and not text. Like, it's like real adult shit. It's crazy. And I think to myself, what do I have to do to keep this person? And that really scares me. And then I'm like, the
plot thickens.
I think the only thing that would really work for two people that are worried about commitment is just making it open. And I don't think he's worried about commitment necessarily, but it's just like, I just went through a breakup. I shouldn't be jumping into something, which totally makes sense. Me too. So I think the only way that those things help is like, we all don't want a boyfriend or a girlfriend because we don't want to close out their opportunities. So why don't you just have an open relationship? That way you never really miss one. You still get your home base. You still have someone you're in love with and you're committed in that way. But if there's ever somebody that walks by that's hot, you can be single for that.
Are you in love?
Not yet.
Are you in like?
Yeah.
Strong like? I'm taking it back to middle school.
I'm leaving for work for 2 weeks to Texas, like I said, and he's coming to see me during that time.
Okay.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am shocked.
You're like blushing a little bit.
I'm shocked that it went that way. I was with him before Kanye.
I'm sorry to make you cry.
Friends and shit. Like,
oh shit.
It's nice.
Sorry to prize you away.
So what if you said, I don't want an open relationship?
He gets over like he's like I'm tired of that. I just want you.
I don't know. I'll be honest. Like on our first date, we were talking about that
open relationships.
Within 5 minutes I mentioned my podcast. That's how I knew like that's how comfortable and like how much his demeanor was so open. He's like woke as fuck, and I don't know if I could see him saying no, but I can't see myself. If he didn't want an open relationship, I need to be monogom-ish. And I couldn't be with someone that didn't want that.
Okay.
Got you.
That I know for sure. Only because I feel like it shuts you down too much.
Okay. Do you want to get married?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but you want to be like monogom-ish and married?
I want to be married and fuck our nanny. Like,
shout out to having a nanny.
That's like my dream job. I mean, dream mom.
Dream job.
I want to be a nanny. No, like that's like what my dream would be. I want to be married and know that I guess that would be a safe thing for me. Just marriage, knowing that I have someone forever. But I also still want to have fun, and that's the part that would scare me about marriage. So like, yeah, we got a fucking nanny or somebody.
Okay.
Or like having kids, and then we go to like a pizza meeting, and I'll be like, oh, you seen Karen?
And her raisins and her potato salad.
Yeah. She don't eat there, but
she makes some nasty potato salad, but
yeah, pussy tastes good.
Oh my.
Something like that.
All right. Well, good. Go ahead.
I can go now?
Yeah, go ahead, babe.
So since you've done Brilliant Idiots, I've been seeing a lot more like wow comments.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say, how do you respond to moments when you're like when they're objectifying you?
Because it's kind of ramped up since then a little bit.
Okay, so
for both of y'all,
I used to respond to like crazy shit, but just now I don't, because it's really the minority. Like, I brought you guys up on Brilliant Idiots because, and I bring it up a lot because it surprised me how mature the people were at our show. We have a show where we talk about how much of hoes we are, and there's people in the crowd, you were there, talking about like, oh my God, you guys are really, helping me with my confidence. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
You talk about sucking dick. But it's weird. I don't know. With the comments, I don't know. I kind of just ignore them. I feel like dudes just try to be stupid and shoot their shot. Actually, there was one comment that this dude said, yo, would you talk to a regular nigga like me? So I clicked on his page. And I'm like, why would he say this about himself? And his girlfriend is all up and through his page. And I wrote him back and I said, my nigga, your girl's on your shit. And he wrote back and said, damn, I ain't even noticed till now. And then he wrote me back in and said, you know what? I actually was just fucking around. Like, I just be writing shit and I just be writing people to see what's going to come out their mouth.
Yeah. So
and
he's just fishing for.
Some dude left on YouTube today on the video of Michelle, Hope, and Mandy and I.
Yeah.
He said, show your toes. The fuck? Why else would you have a video podcast up?
Oh my God. Well, you know what? That's a testament to how beautiful your feet are, I guess. So.
No, he didn't see them. Like, niggas is just nasty.
I'm trying to listen. What you'll learn about me is like I try to find the silver lining in anything.
Thank you, but no.
Well, I guess that's good that you're like learning, like working towards that, because I just can only imagine that it's gonna just become more and more like, again, like the more public, or publicly recognized that you guys become, that's just gonna be coming that way. So that's the best. I personally believe like the best way.
Something happened to me on the train on the way here, and I'm like, I want to talk about it because I just feel really excited.
If it's on your spirit, come on.
I was walking, so I live in the Lower East Side, and these girls were walking towards me, and I had my AirPods on, and the girl said, I didn't say thank you because she wasn't talking to me. She was like, oh my God, her skirt is cute as fuck. And then the other girl goes, oh my God, that's the bitch from the podcast. And
you've been recognized.
Inside myself. So like, I've been recognized like an event, but I think that's different, right? Because like you go to an event where podcasts are, people would know you, whatever. But like when that happened to me, I was like, oh my God.
You're on the street.
I was about to turn around and be like, hey bitch.
Be like, yes, it is
and it
me.
felt really cool because like, just from talking about shit like this happened. So actually, after Brilliant Idiots, after a few of the foot things people said, I decided the way to like, it's funny because it makes it sound like I'm being bougie, but I don't want anyone that I follow to feel like that I don't pay them attention anymore. So I made an Instagram with my real name, with all my real friends, people that know me on Facebook and things like that, so that I could always see their stuff and click on their Instagram stories and talk about their kids and shit like that.
So you did like kind of like your own, like your like personal, like your real friends and family, and then like your more Weezy
like
page. Because
what happens is like the first 20 Instagram stories I see are people I click on a lot. It would be like, I love Andrew Schultz's videos. I don't know, Cardi B, I click on her shit a lot. The Shade Room, Baller Alert, those things pop up first. I don't see my friends' kids on there because they don't post that much, and it's not something that's like a common explore page thing the way they have their algorithm. So I was like, fuck it, I feel like I'm missing out on all this shit. So I just wanted to get rid of it, and I wanted to like stop being so worried about Instagram in that novelty sense. Like, no,
I think that makes sense because you want to make sure that you're not like you still get to see the people you care about on Instagram or Facebook, whatever. So I get it.
And I don't want the people that I care about always feel like I might be curving them.
That's true.
Because now that more messages come through and people respond and stuff, like, I don't see what they're saying.
Yeah, what does that look like? Because I always kind of wondered about that, because I'm like, damn, if I'm a celebrity and if I'm,
I would love to see a celebrity's DMs.
Because my thing is like, those things must be just lit.
Just
like,
even imagine
can you imagine
a girl
like the
on
notifications
Instagram that's
like,
got her ass out at like 500,000 followers. I want to know what that life is like so bad.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Because like, do you get notifications? You can't. Yeah. How?
I just feel like, how does that red bubble must be like lit up?
That thing's on fire.
But
here, y'all want me some of mine?
Oh my goodness, your phone is over here. It was going off already.
It was.
Oh no, man, this is your thing.
I don't give a fuck. What is this?
Somebody's texting you.
Let's see.
Oh my goodness.
Y'all can go through all them jams. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness. Can I take it off the?
Yeah. You'd have to probably click on the requests, right?
Yeah. See, the request was like.
Those are the ones I haven't really seen.
Oh my goodness.
So that's just like, those are the people.
Well, tell me what they say. Damn.
Okay,
share with class.
Okay. Well, he says. Oh, y'all about to be out of here. Keep it up. See, that was nice.
That was nice.
So then
until you read another one.
And then he's like, "Show me your feet." And then she says, "Oh wait, hey, I think I just saw you on the Lower East Side."
Oh my God! I made this man.
Literally think of you as a mentor.
What the fuck, dude? You don't understand.
She calls you old.
I have.
I'm just playing. I'm fucking with you. I'm just fucking with you.
She did.
I'm sorry.
That word, someone else used that word, and it's embarrassing to me because I'm like a whole mentor because, bitch, like, no.
Oh, listen.
Like, I'm making money and I still be overdrafting. Do you know what that is? Irresponsibility.
That's being single and having no other responsibilities but
It really
yourself.
is.
But that's okay. It's gonna come. That'll come.
Bro,
with time.
I went to the bank and I was like, how am I overdraft? And so what I try to do to limit myself is put a certain amount of money in your checking account. Somebody told me, hey, if you put this in, that's all you'll spend. Nah, nigga, because I know I got more. So I was in Bank of America in tears, right? Like, I don't understand. You guys keep charging me every single fucking time $38. And she's like, ma'am, but you have to put more money in your checking. I'm like, no, I don't want to spend it. She's like, but you do, bitch.
She's like, that's not how this works. It's not how any of this works. Like, you gotta have money.
I'm like, if they're both attached, why do I pay a fee if you see I got more money?
It's supposed to just flow on ours, or at least
It's
mine.
supposed to just
Yeah,
flow in there.
overdraft protection.
Well, they charge you a $12 fee for overdraft protection. So I was like, I don't want that.
Oh, see.
And then
But
here I
is
go.
it $12 or $38. You gotta
Bro, I feel so
adulting.
stupid.
That's
This
what
is
that is.
dumb. my new fucking rent for my apartment costs $2,700, and here I am overdrafting.
Yeah,
About
Our
some
mortgage is like half that.
yeah.
Oh well, no, you don't live in the fucking
Well, we
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
We don't live up.
We don't live in New York.
Yeah.
That's why I couldn't move back.
city and state.
I couldn't
Tax.
move back. Yeah, I would have to live a certain lifestyle.
Well, I'm trying to become more responsible and shit like that. Right now that like Mandy and I have a business, right? We started our LLC and shit like that. Like
Yeah.
I have to be, but I'm just not.
That's
We did.
perfect.
Yeah, he started one
Write that
first.
stuff off.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
DMs are actually pretty pretty tame.
Are they?
Like so far? Are you a comic book reader? Wow, now a fan.
What?
Yeah. So.
Oh, you gotta go deep when I put up a picture of like a whole pig.
Somebody. Okay.
You ain't see no eggplants? They be in there. I might have blocked them all.
No, this is a question. Wait, okay. What do older women think about younger guys? Because I'm 19, but I've been packing 9 inches since 16 with crazy girth. LOL. That's a lot.
You know what that is? I just want to tell you I got a big dick.
Yeah.
Give me the phone. I'm about to say, let me see.
I'm not gonna say his. Oh my god, he's gonna have a heart attack.
Let's see what ASAP Mob talking about.
Oh my god.
I can't even write him because then somebody gonna think I really want that dick. I'm scared.
You want me to put it back on the charger?
Nah, fuck it.
Oh. He's gonna go to Google image search right now.
Stop!
Like 9-inch. Tan complexion.
So with Whoreible Decisions, do you have like a worst episode, like an episode that you like
Yep.
hated?
Yeah, she was saying that. She's like, she said
It wasn't
Mandy-
Stripper Strike.
No,
I'm
it
just saying
isn't.
that was like our least favorite in a while. Episode 3.
Okay.
It's called Getting in a Man's Head, and I was so proud of that fucking title. I was like, this is gonna be so good. It's getting head, and then I put in parentheses in a man's. I
Okay.
was like, oh my god, it's so clever.
So,
I thought I just did this great entendre on words, and so we had these two dudes in, one from the No Chaser podcast and a rapper named Trey Pizzy. Mandy knew Trey Pizzy. I knew the dude from No Chaser. His name's Agard. He was great. Actually, he's the reason I started Whoreible Decisions. I went on his podcast and then like realized I liked doing it. It was with Preach. It was in the studio. So they come on, and what I didn't realize was having two alpha males in the room, they were competing with each other a lot. And so I was like, oh, how do you feel about getting your salad tossed, getting your ass licked? They was like, nah, that shit gay, blah, 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 because each other was in the room.
yeah.
And I was like, bro, I know for a fact he wouldn't talk like this if it wasn't there. And
It's a pissing contest.
we kind of just were like, okay. Like, we didn't know what to do. We could feel it not going well. We talked about not posting it. And then one of the dudes said, that's some faggot shit. And when I heard that, I hate that word. Actually, now we would either bleep it if it came out of someone's mouth or we got to let them know you can't say, like, I mean,
yeah.
I wish we did better. And it was just, to me, I was really embarrassed about that. I'm trying to think about another episode I didn't like. I was very nervous the next, you guys were on, for February, we won a couple. You guys came on one. The gay couple I wish I did a better job.
Why?
I got drunk.
Oh, so you felt like you weren't in your right mind.
I was so lit, and also didn't act like I was talking into the mic. I was looking straight in their face. And I'm like, oh my god, y'all just be fucking, and like all you hear is the sound going in and out. And I was just fucked up and having fun, and I was so nervous to be without Mandy in the room.
Okay.
And yeah, I fucked up on that one. So,
well, you live and you learn.
Yeah.
but
All about
did
growth.
y'all have y'all heard our Patreon episodes ever?
I subscribe to Patreon, so I haven't. I have to catch up, but
so we now we won't do that because I mean, if someone's giving their money to us, we definitely don't want to make it bad episodes. But the first episode we posted on there was the gay male escort. You heard that one?
I heard some of it. Yeah,
that nigga was lying.
Oh,
so funny about that. That was actually our worst episode ever. And the funny thing about that episode is it came right after one of the best we've ever had. So we record 2 at a time. We had Lethal Lips, who was a porn star.
Yeah.
She was fun. And talking about people recognizing her at church, telling tips how to give anal. All bitches need is to stay smiling is dick and God.
Oh, my God.
She was so fun. And, like, you could tell she loved what she did. She didn't make you feel, like, bad for being a porn star. Like, oh, my God, you're so objectified. She was, like, fun.
That's the charger.
So then, So then dude comes in, Sebastian. So, you know, I be getting money or whatever. And talking about how he shit on a dude for $10,000 when Lethal Lips literally just said she did it for 2 G's. And this is a huge porn star.
Yeah.
So nigga, you got 10.
You know, you gotta up your rates when you're a liar. So.
So I was not happy with that. And me and Mandy both knew him from high school.
Really?
And he was like the token fun gay black dude in the school. And I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be great. He's gonna be lit. Terrible. Trash. And was lying.
So he was maybe just trying to like get on, basically. You think he was just trying to use it for an almost like an opportunistic type of thing?
Yeah, I think that and like the pressure of a mic in front of your mouth, you feel like you gotta
sell it,
you gotta
like
be extra,
right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing too, which I think someone told me that they said made our podcast popular. He said, "I really believe y'all," and I was like, "Well, why wouldn't you?" Right? We told embarrassing shit. Like the first episode, we talked about condoms being stuck literally attached to our cervix. And he was like, because I really don't believe a lot of people on their podcast. A lot of people put so much of a facade on, and it doesn't feel real. Imagine if you guys never talked about problems in your marriage. They'd be like, fuck them, they liars.
Yeah, because
shit is real.
You know what I mean?
We
Shit
got
is
problems.
so
You
real.
want to sit here and have this podcast and be married and act like it's all good.
Like the
no.
show is called Lovers Quarrel. Like we fight
reason,
all the time.
That's why we got gloves.
Exactly.
I know, I love that. That was
Verbal
so funny.
jabs all
But
the
it
time.
makes sense though. Like if you don't have authenticity, then like
Yeah. Then you have to, and that's the thing. I think like the reason why podcasts are such a popular platform now is because, well, it's really easy to get started. That's the one. But also too, like it's supposed to be like this opportunity for you to take those conversations that you would have normally in like the comfort of your own home and like put them out there, because people have similar experiences or people want to hear about experiences different from their own. So that's why we listen as this married couple who's only ever been with each other to Whoreible Decisions, because okay, if anything, we could live vicariously through y'all, because that's not our reality, but it's your reality. Right. And so therefore, and it's entertaining. Not that we think that it's like a joke or anything like that, but it's also
but it's real.
It's real. It's a different
For
perspective.
Me, that's what it is. I appreciate the realness. Like y'all do what y'all do, so you know why lie about it? You know what I mean? Because y'all could be helping somebody else who's ashamed of doing whatever they're doing, or they're hiding what they're doing. You know, it's kind of like the whole DL thing. Like men are afraid to say that they're gay because of what people think, so then they're doing it on the down low and they're harming other people. Like. But
it's right. It's being judged.
Be open.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know if I made it clear enough on Brilliant Idiots that when I sometimes don't know what to say about our show, but like sometimes I feel like I don't do this for me. Like when I tell stories that are really fucking embarrassing, I don't do them for me. I shared a story. It hasn't came out yet. We've been wanting to do this segment where we catch up on our lives, and we were calling it Pillow Talk, trying to find a new word, but a new phrase. And I talked about a story where I slept with someone before meeting them. Like, walked to his... I'm sorry, like, that didn't make sense. Knocked on his door, meeting them first. Okay. Knocked on his door. Within a minute, he blindfolded me and we had sex.
Really?
And I kept that story because I didn't want other girls to think how sexy it was and think it was safe. And the only reason I told it is because we were just sharing an experience, but it took me a long time to get there. It was like a fantasy of mine to, like, be blindfolded and, like, sleep with someone and it be this, like, kind of... weird, like, oh my God, what's going on? And I wanted a real Dom thing. And so met someone online. We FaceTimed a few times. We talked for a few months before I let it happen. And went to his place. Like, I felt safe. And it was like 1 minute I got to see him without it on. And then after that, he blindfolded me.
Wow.
And it was such a sexy thing that happened. But I also knew if I told that story, somebody might go and fucking do it. Yeah. And I don't want you to think my realness means that, like, I would rather them learn from it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Because so you wouldn't do that again?
I'm not saying I wouldn't do it again. But like,
or maybe you're saying like you want other people to hear like the legwork that you put in before it got to that point.
Yeah, like I said,
so
like remember, like because Mandy was like, I couldn't have done that, blah blah blah. I was like, look, bro. I was like, you've invited dudes over your house you haven't met yet. I was like, I could have taken the blindfold off at any time. I was like, it sounds crazier than I think it really was. For me, it was not something that he told me he wanted to do to me. I had this thing where like I wanted to show up somewhere and like be fucked. It's kind of like, you ever watch the porn where the husband's bringing a dude and the wife gotta fuck him?
Is that the
or they like the surprise gangbang? Cuckolding.
Cuckolding, yeah. Is that that? Yeah.
Like, I didn't want cuckolding, but, like, I did want this, like, oh, my God, I have to sleep with this person. So the guy was online as a dom, and he had one picture of his face, like maybe the side of his face, and he said he wanted to dominate somebody, blah, blah, blah. So we started talking about fantasies, and I told him mine. He was like, we can absolutely do that. I've actually done that before. So I was like, I don't know how safe I feel about it. A few months down the line, saw him again on another site. We started chatting. We talked for hours, and I was like, you know what? What's going to be the difference if I have drinks and fuck him than if I really just show up? What could he do to me? So finally got the balls to do it. It's like 2 a.m. I had already FaceTimed with him, so that made me feel safe, but got to his building, and I gave my ID to the doorman, which that made me feel safe. I'm like, all right, these niggas kill me.
So they know that
they
she
know
was
I was
here.
So, right? I remember the building. It was called the B. It was on 26th and 5th or something, and it was real expensive. And I'm like, this nigga can't kill me here. Like,
I don't know.
Can
You ever
he?
seen American Psycho? Nah,
You know, you're right. Shit. So I got to his house. He was really attractive, and he opened the door, and he had a one-bedroom apartment. It was small, and I was like, "Can I look around?" Because I wanted to make sure nobody else was gonna pop out. I think I was more scared than he. Like and he was like,
rightfully so.
Yeah. So I looked in the closets and the bathroom, and I heard him laugh a little bit. I pulled the shower curtain thing back, and then he said, "Can I put this on you now?" And this is gonna be the last question I ask you, because I had already set my hard limits, which means like no anal or no this or don't slap me, things like that. He goes, "Can I put this on? This is the last thing I'm gonna ask. Consent for, and your safe word is blah blah blah." I was like, "Yeah, okay, put that shit on." It was fun.
Well, listen, as long as you were fun and safe, then
But
by all
that's
means.
the thing, right? Telling that story, like, I don't want, just like you guys read some girl said mentor, like, I don't want this bitch to go out there and be like,
And then be like, well, Weezy said.
you know, like, I don't even want to know what he looked like. Just come fuck me.
Exactly.
Like, no.
Is your safe word still? Is it Wakanda? Is it Wakanda?
Oh, yeah.
Is it still Wakanda?
What about, you guys listen to the Pickup Artist episode?
I did.
It was a single friend of mine who came up.
did,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I made it Wakanda. Because my homeboy from the episode told me, I'm like, I don't know. He wants to do all these things to me. He's like, make it Wakanda with your black ass. It's like, okay. I haven't had to use it yet, and I kind of want to. I just want to yell it in the middle of it.
Like Wakanda.
Before that, my safe word we were talking about was going to be wet cement. Because we kept running
That's a mouthful.
We kept running into wet cement on dates. Like, it would just be all this shit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And it was like the theme every time I saw him. So it was wet cement. And I was like, something sexier. And then Wakanda was it. But really, the only thing I do use is like red and yellow because of the spanking thing. That's the only thing I really need a safe word for. I don't really do anything.
How did you get into BDSM?
Oh, hold on. Now I'm trying to think. So I always liked choking more than I think
The average person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I've never wanted to pass out, but I would ask for it during kissing. I would ask for it, like, just random times in the day. And it was really, really strange to some people, but what it was just subculture, right? And I didn't realize that choking was all I knew about. So there's other ways to be submissive that doesn't include choking, obviously. But at the time, I was like 19 or 20. And my boyfriend at the time, I'd be like, oh, go choke me here. Like, tell me you want me to do this. Or, like, I just knew I wanted something more.
Yeah.
So then I finally met a real dom when I moved to New York. And he would, you guys ever seen the movie Secretary?
Yes.
It was on some
Maggie Gyllenhaal. Okay.
It's
Okay.
more than 50 Shades of Grey. So basically, submissive, like, it's your everyday life too. Like,
it was very accurate, I thought.
It was a great representation of what it is. So for example, the guy would do it very slowly with me. He'd say, I'm going to give you 2 tasks today, and if you don't complete them, that's 1. And it would be like 1 spanking, right? Or 1 punishment. So he would say, I need you to go in the bathroom while you work at some point before 12:30 p.m. and send me pictures of your underwear. By 5 p.m., I need you to stick your fingers inside yourself and, like, tell me what it tastes like things like that. Then they would be other things that weren't sexual. Like,
Mhm.
make sure you only eat this today. Make sure that you cross the street, and every time you do it, you have to clap your hands. Like, all the way, like, it could almost be borderline humiliating. And, like, there's no way to know if someone's really obeying you, but it's just the fun of it all. And so, like, I just really liked that. Some people tell me that it's because I'm such an extroverted person that I like these things. I don't know, but
yeah, I mean, they say that a lot of times. They say like, or like, if you think about all the episodes of SVU when they talk about it, it's like somebody has a lot of control or a lot of power in their day-to-day life. That's why they like to be submissive.
She said Donald Trump liked getting spanked. Remember that, Stormy?
Oh, yeah.
She said I spanked him, and I believe it.
Yeah,
But
I believe it too. But anyway,
do you guys ever do BDSM things or try it out?
Not to that extent. No, I think that we like, and like we kind of talked about it at the live shows, just like that's something that we have to kind of like work on, like incorporating or like finding out things that maybe want to try and do more of. I think that like, you know, when we finally, what's funny was like at least my introduction to your show came like right around this like while I was pregnant around that.
You were pregnant.
So
really?
Yeah. So at that point,
Were you
was.
pregnant?
I think so. I feel like
Is it yours? Damn! What the fuck? All
It
these
was
questions.
y'all been around since
Since March.
Oh no, maybe right after I had Tatum. Because you guys were since March of 2017.
Yes.
When was the Brilliant Idiots?
That was October.
Live show, summer.
That was like
Oh, I went to that sex party. That's right.
it was like fall because I went to. So let's say that's summer. So I just had her. So like she was still really little, and so I think that it was like it was. I really liked hearing it because that wasn't my reality at that point, especially because it's just like
That's so
baby.
crazy to me too. A lot of women will listen and they'll say they love hearing these stories, even though it's not their life.
Yeah, because I mean, if it's not, because I don't like this. For me, it's like I don't see anything wrong with it. It's not my reality. It's not my walk in life. But at the same time, it's always interesting and exciting to hear what other people deal with, like, you know. And I mean,
like I like watching TV shows with married couples.
Yeah. Well, so and that's the
and
thing.
people will say, "That'll make you feel lonely." And I'm like, "No, it makes me feel like good." And I'm happy to hear. I'm like happy to watch that shit. I don't know.
Yeah, and I like to. I mean, that's what I hope. Like, I hope that for like on our end of things, like we don't sound like dry and boring or anything like that, because we are this like, you know, married couple with like, you know, very like I guess very traditional in that sense, you know. But at the same time, it's like we have flaws, we have interests, we have, you know, things that we're into that are unique to us. But at the same time, just because we don't do that doesn't mean that we're automatically like dry either. Like we just have a different approach or a different perspective or preferences, you know.
But I also think with the podcast, it opens you up to different things. It may make you think about something that you wouldn't have even thought about.
Oh, like golden showers, bro. I thought that shit was nasty when Mandy was like talking about.
Yeah, that's still a hard pass.
No, I'm not saying that I'm into it now.
No, I know.
But I used to think it was crazy. Like I thought it was the craziest, nastiest shit, and now I'm just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like it seems like like now it seems like a very subdued kink
compared to some of the other things that because what was the kink when we were on with Mandy and, sorry, look at me. So we were on with Mandy and Michelle, and then the kink of the week was the one where they were putting things inside of sounding. They put
so
objects
you
inside of a man's penis.
Yes.
And I'm like
dead. Not at all.
Yeah,
bro, like that's too much.
Yeah. So I'm like,
I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I wanted to bring this up.
Yes.
I was having dinner last night with a dude I'm dating named Jeeves.
Okay.
And I was like, I feel so bad when I watch myself in that clip with Dallas Penn talking about fucking a shoe. I was like, because I looked so judgy. And he was like, I don't kink shame that with things that have to do with humans. But if they have to do with objects, I'm kink shaming.
Really?
He's like, people fall in love with cars, roller coasters, sticking weird fucking shit, and people like, yes. He's like, if it's humans, whatever. As long as it's safe, who gives a fuck? It's just imagination. He's like, but when it comes to like objects and shit like that, he's like, that shit's weird.
Yeah, I had never heard of it before, so it took me out. I was
it's
like,
fucking crazy. That's why you haven't heard, and probably because you black.
It definitely took me out. I was like, I'm like, you know, we might be trying to get back into the swing of things at times because of the new baby and everything.
Definitely not.
I said, but that's not going to be on the list.
I mean, my BDSM, like, you know what I actually do a lot of? I've been doing a lot of role play but not like acting scenes, but like once he's inside of me. Never done it with anybody else, but the dude that I'm seeing, like, we do this good girl thing, like, in the middle of fucking sex, and it's fucking really weird. Like, and I guess both of us off. I don't know how it started, but like, he'll say something like, "Oh yeah, you're taking it really deep." I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'm such a good girl. Is that why you're fucking me so good?" I was like, "Is that why you're fucking me so hard? Because I was so good when I did blah blah blah." And then like, then it turns into this whole thing. Like, if I start tightening my legs up, then I'm being bad, and then I gotta be spanked, and it's like really fun. Because the reason I never wanted to do role play is because I thought I had to get dressed and then like set the scene.
Oh yeah.
And
so
then I don't want to get flustered.
Okay.
Like, for example, let's pretend.
Okay. Okay.
You the tax accountant. I mean, let's say. See, I can't even do it. I'm not scared.
I'm not that good at math.
Okay, you're the teacher.
Oh God.
So I can't do that.
Wait,
dude, I'm not
wait, because I'd be like, if you don't sit down and do, like, I'd act like a real teacher. So
okay, y'all do it.
Nah, we couldn't.
See, we couldn't take it seriously.
We definitely couldn't take it seriously.
I mean, we've been. I think I get what you're saying.
And I'll be like, "What's your name?" And
he go. This is what he. Go ahead.
I'll be like, "What's good?" I'll be like, "What's up? What's your name?" And then she'll be like, Guadalupe.
I can't take it.
Think I can't say that shit.
So then
he goes, "That name is terrible," and then like and it's over. So like,
it is a terrible name.
But every name I pick is terrible. So
see, I think that's the problem. I think like we gotta like picking out the identities instead of like doing it in the midst of it. Where I think it made it easier.
Maybe because you know what, it's already kind of like you're in the moment, so it's a little bit maybe it's like method acting. Like you're living in the moment, so you're doing what you do, so you don't have to like think as hard about it. So it just kind of comes naturally. So
yeah,
that's good. I think that works. That's really funny. But yeah, he'll be like, "What your name is?" And I'm like. And I'm like, and I mean, sometimes I think I'm giving decent names, and he's like, "That's the fuck terrible," and I'm like,
"You definitely don't. You be like mad random."
And see, then that's discouraging.
And then he gets I think, but see, I don't know. I guess maybe I can't resist the urge to be silly, so I
so okay. I'm like, "What's your name?" Led Zeppelin.
Listen, I'm like Def Leppard, like whatever. Like I'll say something that's going on around me or whatever.
Cordy.
Yeah, because I just think it's funny, but I don't know. I'll work on it. I'm a work in progress. I'm always
Cordy
trying.
has been teaching me too how to role play better. They've been teaching me new like dirty words and phrases. Like now, I ask for permission to come. That's my new jam.
Really?
Like I always like ask if like
you ask or do you say it like a
like it's when I'm about to come and I'd be like, "Will you let me?" And like sometimes he'd be like, "No." And so I have to hold it.
Isn't that called is that like edging?
Edging is literally stop it. Yeah. That is kind of edging. But so edging, from what I thought it was, I guess you're right. It is like literally like coming close to it by like doing something physically, like whether it be going down on someone and then stopping, like completely stopping. Mm-hmm. He won't stop fucking me. Like it still feels good, but like I just have to hold it.
Yeah, I've heard about that before. And what's interesting is I heard the first time I ever heard that term was there's some a website, and it was like Emma Watson, so like Hermione was like, I believe it was her, it was like promoting this website, and it was like talks about like it teaches a woman about how to like love her, like, you know, how to be intimate with yourself, and like
edging. It was the first time I did it was by myself,
so that was what they talked about. And so I was like, I didn't know what that was, so I Googled it, and then like I saw it, and so like in my mind, whenever I've heard that term, and then I heard it in the show, and I was like, I think of like a DJ with like a record, and it's like this, and then like when you finally like let the record play all the way, like when you know when you let the beat drop. It's so funny
you said DJ, because one of my first Vines, you remember Vine?
Yes.
Was me saying, "Oh, I like the DJ," and I was like, it'd be like me touching my clit, and people were like, "This bitch is nasty as fuck." I've been like low key, probably like doing mini like Instagram, and like then it was Snap or MySpace or Vine or whatever kind of video and be funny that I could. It's like a podcast is easy because I could just try to be funny for an hour, and then whatever hits. I don't know.
Yeah, listen, well, you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
So I think
you gonna do the last question?
Yeah, I got it. Last question for Weezy. In a perfect world. So take that into consideration. It's not that.
Who came up with this?
I think I did, okay. But it's not really a deep of a question. But I think it's good because we're always thinking ahead. In a perfect world, like, what do you think where is Weezy, and what is she doing in like 5-ish years?
Oh, okay.
In 5 years, or just at the 5-year mark?
5-ish, 5 years, right after 4 to 7. I don't know. So like just in the future, like the near future.
No, I get that, but I'm saying, are you?
This is marriage.
5
Y'all about
years? Or are you saying within the 5?
Hold up. What the fuck? First of all, I already do fights on my own show.
5 years from now.
So put your gloves up.
All right. So 5 years from now, where is Weezy and what is she doing?
So it's funny because the second you said that, I thought of a dollar amount.
All right.
I need to be making in my personal and like my career $225. That's the amount I need to make.
Shout out to you. You're definitely not no teacher.
Like 5 years, like I'm like, okay, I've been watching my trajectory, and I'm like, if I really stayed on the same pace, and like, I mean, 3 years ago I was making 85, right? Like, so that, and if I'm then another 25 after that, so like that's where I need to be at, and if I'm not, something went wrong.
Okay.
But I'm in sales, so like that's kind of how it works, right? Like IT and tech sales, like that's the amount it is. But I thought about that, but I did get asked that question in the Vice interview. How much money would it take you to quit your job and just do Whoreible Decisions? And I said $150, which I think is a crazy amount, right? Me and Mandy making 300 G's. How can we do that? But then I do look at other podcasts and their partnerships and their live shows and shit they do, and like they be making it.
They make a lot of money. The people who really came in, like especially like kind of early on the wave of podcasts, are thriving.
I've seen a sponsor deck, and I really hate to say their name, but it's the biggest one that we can all think of, which is the Read. And I saw a deck for almost $75,000 for a sponsorship.
Wow.
From them. Not them asking for that money, but someone proposing it to them. And they didn't take it. I've never heard of that ad on their show. But if that money was offered to them for a sponsorship, and I'm guessing a few episodes, like, my nigga, they lit and young and black.
Exactly. And did it in 5 years.
Yeah, and whereas they're really not my demographic, which I didn't know that, by the way. I kind of thought people that listen to the Read would listen to us, and they don't.
Yeah, I listen to the Read.
I listen to the Read too, but I'm just saying, like, their demographic is a different type of black folk than mine is. And I didn't know that until like going to some Read stuff and then going to some Brilliant Idiots or Joe Budden shit. I'm like, oh, these are niggas that like us. Rowdy. Because we be talking reckless. And people that listen to the Read are probably smarter.
they are
they
different
know
demographics.
politics.
I know that people listen to us are gonna listen to this episode and they're gonna be like, whoa. They were like, okay, she's talking about a whole lot of stuff that y'all normally don't talk about. Right. But we wanna especially, and TJ's really big on that. He's like, I really want to bring like different perspectives and stuff to the show because
I mean, you got to.
It's important though.
You have to.
I think we got to challenge our own ideas.
Yeah, you got to be able to show people differences. Like, see what people are, see where they are in their lives. Yeah. See different relationships. Like that's my big thing. I want to be able to get like other couples on the show to be able to kind of just see what their dynamic is.
Oh my God, I would love to hear like two couples just going at it.
I mean, we know some, so I mean,
you should.
Yeah, I mean, you know, where we live, especially like where we went to college, like we have friends, but not many of them that are. But it's important to hear from different perspectives because we can only give one perspective as far as that relationship.
I mean, you're two people though, like but at the end of the day, at least you have that.
Yeah, and we and like we have our own very different thoughts on the same topics, but. It's important that like people realize that this is our reality, but that doesn't mean that like all these other realities are just as valid and just as important and need to be heard as well. Yeah. But I agree. Like I listen to the Read, I listen to Brilliant Idiots, I listen to Whoreible Decisions, and they meet very different needs or very different like. They do. Taste of mine that I have.
Like I listen to the Read every week, and sometimes I'm like, damn, I wish we could talk about pop culture, but it's not our thing, and it's not what people listen to us for.
And that was
kind of us. So when we first started, we had a podcast like 2015 called To Be Determined, and it was because TJ, she's Danny Byerson.
That's cute.
It was.
And then we were trying to like do pop culture, but it just didn't work. And then she got pregnant, and then when we tried to come back. Someone else had it. So I was like, fuck it, let's try to find something different. And then we came with Lovers Quarrels. I was like, this is dope. Yeah. We do our first episode and we saw about pop culture and it was like cool. But then I'm like, it just felt phony. Like it felt like
and a lot of people do it already.
Exactly.
Yeah, a lot of people
and that's what it felt
like. Bro, like even listening to Joe Budden and Brilliant Idiots is still niggas in the room talking shit about the
Whatever's
same thing that
going
we
on.
don't hear about Fabulous on both.
Yeah.
And you have to really, really, really come up with some creative content or have something to back you.
Different,
Because I don't want to hear. There's no other read for
Mhm.
me. There's no other gossip. I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
I cannot start with something new. The only reason I could do Brilliant Idiots is because them niggas is ignorant as fuck, and I love it. So, like, I like hearing them talk the way that the read can.
Sometimes I love to listen to the read, and sometimes, and it is, I guess, predominantly shows, but like sometimes it's like I hate to listen. Like, you know what I mean? It's like a hate listen. Like, you know how you hate watch something. So
You know,
I don't mean, but I love the show.
I hear
too.
you.
So I felt the same way until I went to the live show, and then I realized that Schultz is always joking. That's what I get, and
He's always
sometimes it's like it may not be a joking
Have
matter.
you guys seen him? Well, we're all going to the show when we leave.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen him live?
Not his stand up. No. So this is
I've
his
seen, I've
first.
seen the 444
He
on
is
YouTube.
amazing. That 444 honestly does him no justice. In person.
Really? And Charmy says he's like one of the funniest people.
I think he's one of the funniest people. My favorite comedian I've ever seen live was Benji Brown, who's a Florida. You ever seen Kiki Waffle House Yellow? Y'all never seen that?
Nah.
Who in the wig? Miami comic. Great.
I'm a Google.
And he does a makeup tutorial. And he calls, I'm going to get yellow, Waffle House yellow, money green. And it's really good. And he was my favorite. And then when I moved to New York, when I saw Andrew Schultz, I was like, whoa.
So, all right. So you're setting the bar high. So I hope I'm like.
I am on purpose. Like, it's worth it.
All right, cool.
I mean, my sides was hurting.
All right, cool. So I'm ready.
You know what I do see in 5 years? Kids.
A kid.
A kid.
Unless we get twins.
Hell no. I ain't got them in my family. I'll fall down some stairs before I have to.
Oh, don't
Stop.
say
that.
And that was the worst thing you said. Oh, if it's
No,
not.
that was. I'm sorry.
That was perfect timing.
That was my
it
Schulte
was-
line for the fucking like.
was-
You pushed it too far.
Yes, but that's okay. But when that time comes, and then I might be on kid number 2 by then. We probably have
In
another
5 years, nah. You want me to hit number 3, 4?
All right.
How many y'all want?
4.
How many does he want?
4.
4. How many do I want? More than 1. 4 is too many.
2's stupid.
2 is not.
Why is 2 stupid?
2 is not
I just feel like it's
stupid.
stupid.
You
Two is
can
not
push one out your dick. How about that?
If I could, I would.
But you can't.
You would
so
not.
I would.
You wouldn't.
You would not. You know what? I'm on my period right now. The shit just started this morning. And all I could think to myself is, because, I mean, the shit was hitting me hard. And I was like, you know what? Niggas couldn't handle this shit. Like, that's all I thought about. That was the only thing that got me
If
through.
men got their periods, you would get like 4 days a month off from work every month.
You know what? Schultz said at his last show, he said, you know how disgusting it is? Like, just think about it. They just asking for 1 day. Imagine if you were bleeding out your dick hole. Like, you deserve a
Several days off. And that's if you're having like, and because there are some women who have like like I was never that.
I'm
that
like
woman.
borderline endometriosis.
Yeah. So I that wasn't my struggle, but I have friends who have endometriosis and just bad periods altogether, and that shit is like, and you're supposed to be like functional, like perform well at your job, act like nothing's wrong, but then like literally like your insides are like fighting each other. It's
You
like
know how embarrassed I used to be? But my boss at one point, I was like, look, I wouldn't lie to you. I can barely talk. That's how bad they get. I'd be on the floor, bro. Like my mom used to think I was lying when I was a kid. She's like, you just don't want to go to school. That's how bad it was. Like I feel like there's a ninja in there. And every time I feel it, and I was trying to hold my shit together on the subway today, and I was looking at these men on the train. I was like, they be losing their minds.
they would be, everybody be falling out, crying, like, oh my god,
you don't have the stamina.
you're not there. Yeah. And I used to get migraines real bad, and because of the birth control I was on at the time, and like so whenever it would be like the time for my cycle to come on, it got to the point, like at first, like when I first was on it was just like, oh, a headache or whatever, pop 2, Tylenol, keep it pushing. But then like as time progressed, like it turned into like massive migraines, and I couldn't even get ahead of the migraine because I would wake up with it. And then like,
no, it's like you might as well get pregnant.
So yeah, honestly, and like my
the fuck?
I mean,
I'm getting hunger pains. I'm like getting fat. What the fuck?
Yeah,
I actually am just doing the rhythm method right now.
I'm gonna pray for you on that one.
Let me tell you something. Let me just show y'all this picture before we leave. Y'all gonna laugh your ass off. So the reason I got off birth control is because the side effects were too much for my body, and I just really wanted to. I don't know. It really wasn't working well for me, and I couldn't handle it anymore. So I didn't want to say nothing to the dude I was talking to and scare him, but literally left his apartment, My period was 3 days late according to the app. I went and got a pregnancy test. Didn't tell him, right? So he's like, hey, how you feeling? I sent him this picture, and I said, we getting fucked the other night.
Oh, my God.
No plus sign. No plus sign.
You try, his heart probably dropped into his...
Because he was probably trying to read that shit, zoom in. Bro.
He was like, where is she going with this? Oh, my God.
I didn't, like, not getting a period and trying this rhythm method. So for those of you that don't know about the rhythm method, I'm sure most of you do if you're listening to this one, because they seem smart. It's basically when you're tracking your ovulation timing based on according to when you menstruate. And so that's what I've been doing. And it's been working fine. And it's not like he's coming inside of me or anything, but
yeah, you know, it's a little bit, it's rhythm plus it's like a little bit like a wing and a prayer sometimes.
Oh,
like,
yeah, it is.
So
I'd be like, yo, tell me when you're close. And I like low key be like, oh yeah, like I want a facial. And then the other part of me is like, and not to get pregnant.
Yeah, because it's a whole new ballgame.
Put your kids on my face.
It's a whole new ballgame when you do, because we were trying to get pregnant when we had our daughter, and I still wasn't ready for it when I saw the positive on that pregnancy test.
Because you was mad early.
I was very early, but it happened the first try, the first month. That we were like, we were like, okay, I got pregnant. So I thought it was going to take a couple of months,
and then she went
I ain't gonna lie, when you on that birth control for so long, I feel like that it just be waiting. Them eggs be right there.
See, but you know, they always say like, oh, it takes a while to like wear off or get out your system. No.
Maybe you potent as fuck.
Yeah, well, that we also learned is that like both sides of our family, like my mother used to always say, she was like, if you look at a woman in our family hard enough, you get pregnant. And so I always made sure I was very, very careful, like very safe.
What, not wear makeup?
No.
I don't want nobody to look at me.
No, I mean like just like always on some type of birth control as soon as I became.
Oh, see, my mother had me on birth control very young, even before I asked, which is what I want to thank her for that too, because my mom saw me watch a video, and the next week she didn't yell at me, nothing. Took me to go get birth control, the shot. She's like, you ain't gonna be out here for getting pills around me. And I didn't use it, or I didn't have sex for maybe I'd say 6 months, and she was still getting me the shots. I'm like, oh, you're wasting your time, blah blah. But when that time came, and there was no condom around. At least I had that. Yeah. Just fucking imagine. Oh.
Yeah. And I'm just grateful that we were always using some type of birth control because...
And Danny was always responsible.
Can I ask, have you guys ever used condoms in your marriage?
And since being married? Occasionally, but not really that often. Like I think...
Why? I don't mean it like it sounds, but I have some married friends that like I was over her place and I saw condoms by their bed and I was like... Why? Y'all had a threesome the other day?
I think so. There was this like, I think sometimes there's been times where like if I was when I was on the pill and then when I was on the ring, but then like my prescription ran out, so there was like a window of time.
Girl, you real.
I was very responsible, but listen, look, I got pregnant on the first. The first
he came in you.
No, because
it was like literally like. If we started in, when was it?
So, put it like this.
My family reunion was like June.
The first week of July.
Okay,
My birthday is July 16th.
And then on like...
I took a pregnancy test on July 18th. And it was positive.
Oh, my nigga.
Yeah, she was early about it.
It was like, because it was the 6 day sooner test, so my period wasn't due until
you were like, nah, this shit too soon. It fucked up.
No, because I was just like, I was...
She was bored and she's an overachiever.
And I said, I was like, well, we need to have pregnancy tests in the house if we're trying to have a baby. So I need to have some around. And I got home and I was like, I ruined all of August.
We could have been drinking and not thinking.
So
it was your dick.
So I got home and I was like, well, I gotta go to the bathroom anyway. I was like, let me just. I was like, it's 3.
Because you just knew it was
I said it's 3 in a pack, and I took the test. And
did you check the other 2?
Well, I took the test. I left the bathroom. I went to go like feed the dog. I was on Facebook scrolling around, and then I was like, oh, it's been like a couple of minutes, and I walked in the bathroom and I looked in the sink and I said, huh? And then like I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like I just kind of made this face like, oh shit, like
shit is real.
So then I was off for the summer. And so, but everybody else I knew was at work, except from one of my work besties. So another teacher.
God, you like, can someone pick up?
I was FaceTime. I was like, bitch, like, look. And so I was like, I said, what is this? And she was like, girl, you know what it is. Like, and you know, I told her we were like going to try to get pregnant and stuff. So that was, you know, I took another one at that point because I was like, all right, I gotta see this real. But then didn't have to go, so I was like guzzling Arizona iced tea, like trying to pee again.
You said guzzling.
And so
I love that you didn't say water. Let me get this iced tea.
Exactly, because I was like, oh man, if I'm gonna be drinking something, I'm like, want something with some flavor. So
out of control.
And then he came home, and
she
so
did this big reveal.
I did like a,
I'll show you the video.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because he has an online shopping habit. So I pretended like he got a package in the mail. And it was like I put my pregnancy test in there.
I shop like every normal person.
Online shopping habit. I'm whispering this is a podcast, but
I got a bad shopping habit. That's how that overdraft happened. I just be click, 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 click.
Oh my god! All right.
So with that,
let's wrap this up. I'm gonna show you the video when we leave out of here. Last thing is our quarrel. This was something that me and him beef about.
Make your.
Oh, sorry. Ding 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 ding. Fight. Because normally we're at home, so we don't have any like we don't have any sound bites or anything like that. And then we do thank you, get over here, whoopsie, all of that, like from Mortal, you ever play Mortal Kombat?
No, bitch, man.
Okay, so all right.
Terrible.
So
but I know what you're talking about.
You're a hater.
With us being in Brooklyn, this is the perfect topic.
Oh, is that where he's from?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A nigga you used to fuck?
No.
Oh, I was about to say this shit getting good.
Nah, like where is he? Nah. So our quarrel is of the musical genre today. So my quarrel with him, or my beef with him, is these trash ass rappers, aka I said Tekashi 6ix9ine, or anyone who was born after 1995. So I think that they're the fuck terrible. I think that like he's yelling at me. I don't appreciate it. I feel
Tekashi 6ix9ine is like a fucking nut job in the music.
He be rocking though.
No, he's just yelling.
He sound like Onyx.
No, let me play. I don't even know what. I've just heard a little bit. I'll tell you who I had to really
we
fuck
had to
with,
Google.
though.
We had to Google what a blicky and a stiffy was.
I told you what the blicky was.
Oh, excuse me.
What?
Thank you.
It's a gun.
Thank you.
Listen,
he's terrible.
He's great. It's great workout music.
He's the fuck terrible.
It's great workout music, and he sound like Sticky Fingers.
I mean, I like 21 Savage. Would you say you don't like that? I fuck with that.
He's all right. I honestly I still don't mind. I don't mind him as much as I mind that Tekashi 6ix9ine. Anybody who has like a prescription drug in their name, like
can I just play you a little bit of a clip?
Sure.
And I'm so embarrassed to show you what this dude looks like. You know what this is?
No.
It sounds like a drunk nursery rhyme.
I heard this on some Apple's top shit, and I was into it. Look at the dude.
That's what she's talking about.
Hard pass.
Lil Xan.
Is he an albino?
You know how embarrassed I am when I fucking was like, oh,
you were bopping to that.
He was rocking.
It's on my
Let me see his face.
Ugly.
He's
talking about Xans don't make me who I am. But the shit be riding though. Like,
listen, you gotta let them rock. You gotta let the young people rock. And you gotta remember, he's not making music for you, so don't listen to.
So you telling me he ain't ride the short bus?
I don't know.
Oh, he had to. Like,
I mean, he said that Tupac.
He's definitely retarded, but
he said Tupac wasn't what's the name?
Wasn't that great?
Yeah, he said that Tupac wasn't influential, something like that, and then people started like going in on him, like. Not allow him to perform, all that. But
I'm like,
for the quarrel,
like, yo, I'll take it back.
I have no words. Like, he's
for the quarrel. I'm gonna say you gotta stop being a hater. You gotta stop.
I'm not being a hater.
You being an old person.
I'll be old. I am 30 and over.
I'll be that.
I'll be old because that is not music. And I know that's what our parents said about the stuff we listen to, but. Come on, like they let anybody call themselves a rapper nowadays.
Well, anyone can be a rapper nowadays.
You
don't need a label.
Anyone can do a fucking podcast. Anyone can be a rapper.
I get that, but that doesn't mean everybody's good at it. Like it just means that it's.
I'm just saying.
He's ugly.
That's all you care about.
Hey, they be saying that about us. They be like, y'all ugly hoes. I'm be like, well, good thing it's not a show. It's not a video show.
Exactly.
It's a audio
like
podcast.
Voice? But no,
you ain't gotta click the YouTube, nigga.
Exactly. But yeah, I just can't. I can't. You can call me a hater, but I just don't see it for them. And like, don't yell at me. Like, don't yell when you're rapping. Don't make me feel like I did something wrong.
When you go to the gym and you on that treadmill.
I haven't clearly been in the gym in a while, but.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I said when you go in the gym and you're on that escalator. I meant to say, what is it?
The stairs?
No, not the stairs.
Elliptical.
The elliptical?
Stairmaster.
No.
A treadmill?
Treadmill. That's what I'm
Where
saying.
you get the fuck?
I don't know. Let me be great, okay? God damn it.
Okay.
When you on the treadmill,
I'm listening.
throw on some Tekashi, and tell me you don't feel it.
I guess I'd have to go back to the gym to find
That's
that
what I'm
out.
saying.
I'll
At what speed, bruh?
give me some Beyonce
Shit.
or
They got
some
other hits.
Rihanna.
And then on that note,
Whatever. Give me some Cardi. I listen to Big
I
Head.
was in a spin class and I was listening to Moneybagg, and the dude who did the spin class, this white gay guy, he was like, yes, and you love it, and you love it. So I was like, shut the fuck up and let us hear her. And then right when it was done, he was like, and now I'm gonna play Dixie Chicks because Dixie Chicks. I feel like that was just a little too much for today. Okay, we're in Soho.
Oh my god.
well, on that note, we want to thank Weezy.
Yes, thank you
you
so much. I
guys.
hope you
It was
liked
a
it. I hope you
pleasure.
enjoyed your time with us.
I did. I had a great time.
Great. And yeah.
They have a live show.
That's right.
Oh yes, in Atlanta.
I'm like, I feel bad like promoting my shit. But anyway, it's May 19th at the Plaza Theater at 8 p.m.
They popping or whatever.
And,
Yes,
I'm really
I saw
excited.
your VIP tickets is sold out.
The VIP tickets are sold out, and it's kind of making me feel like, damn, like, why do we not charge like
More.
Every time something happens, I be like, well, why we ain't?
You live and you
Nah,
learn. That's why you got
exactly.
5 years to figure that out.
So we'll be sure to put that on the bio, so that way people can buy
Oh, that's
tickets.
so nice. Thank you so much.
Of course, we always
And,
want
And I'm
to
sure
support.
you guys will be
Info
at
out
the
there.
June one or June or July. I think we're gonna do in New York.
Yeah, you already know we're gonna be there. So.
Yeah.
They be like, are those the teacher? I mean, like the teacher host. You know?
And
I group y'all in together. I don't care the TJ and the teacher. I just want to call him one.
Cool.
It's the T in his name.
That's fine. And what you call it? And that's if it's July, that's my birthday month, so we can,
cool.
that'll be a little B-day outing for us.
Yeah.
But as always, you can find us on Instagram at Lovers Quarrel Show. And on Twitter.
Lovers Quarrel 7.
And if you have any questions, comments, whatever, email us at loversquarrelshow@gmail.com.
And yeah.
This was definitely a 21 and over episode.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
That it was.
Yeah, this was.
I don't think we
this
have
was
any.
dope. It was like we were interviewing, but we also got kind of interviewed.
A
and
little bit.
Got a little role playing going.
Yeah.
Shout out to Weezy.
Okay. Now, like, don't take it too far. Don't think that I was out here hollering.
No,
I'm just giving foot jobs and role playing.
Exactly.
And
being
every
great.
time I go on a podcast,
Living your
You
best
being great.
life.
That's all that matters.
I'm just being the hoe that I know how.
Exactly. You being the best hoe that you can be.
Y'all need to chill next episode after this.
Yeah, we gonna fall back hard. They're like, oof.
Don't lose a listener. Hey,
Nah.
by the way, all that whole shit and falling down the stairs jokes I made, I was just playing.
They're like, the thoughts and actions of Weezy is not that
Reflective
reflective of
of
Lovers
Lovers
Quarrel.
As my father would say, fuck them if they can't take a joke. So
I like it.
Shout out to Ice.
yeah.
All right. Well, with that being said, this has been another episode of Lovers Quarrel. I am Danny.
I'm your guy TJ.
And as always, we fuss,
We fight,
but we love. Bye.
Farewell.
I love that. I wish I had something like that.